Hello and welcome to English 102 here at Georgia Military College. My name is Professor Cornelli and I'm going to go over a couple things with you so you can become familiar with the class. Obviously, I want you to do your very best and be successful. So I wanted to provide you with a few tips. So this should look similar to your classroom here. When you log into Moodle. Of course, this is Composition 2. This is the course that follows English 101. So you're going to take some of those writing skills that you perfected and MLA formatting and text citations, and we're going to apply them using literary examples, some short stories, poetry, and drama. So always look, when you're in the course, always look here because this is where I will post weekly announcements, any reminders, anything that's been updated, it will come through here. So that should be one of the first things that you check. Also, any of these announcements go through your course email as well. So you'll have it in your email, you'll see it pop up, and then you can also come back here if he's like, what did she say in week 1? I don't remember. You can come back and look here. Okay, so our course starts on the 6th, but I want to make sure that you have done a few of these things. Hopefully you've introduced yourself to our class. We'll be together for these next 8 weeks till the beginning of December. Make sure that you have read through the syllabus, and there's also a link in here about how to be successful in this course for some important tips. Another thing to consider too is the late policy for this course. We have 8 weeks, so it goes by very, very fast. So my best advice to you is to not be late. Of course, there are extreme things that happen that cannot be prevented, and those are, the exceptions. Mostly, everybody should be able to turn in assignments on time because sometimes you have to sacrifice late nights or work instead of doing something fun. So that comes with being a college student is making those sacrifices. So here's the late policy. It's also some frequently asked questions. There are some other resources down here if you're having problems with navigating Moodle or anything like that. Of course, you have my email that you can use through using your GMC email, and then also you have the messaging here within Moodle, and I will get those and will respond to you as soon as possible. Okay. One other thing I wanted to go back to the due dates. So every Sunday from now until December 4th, you're going to have assignments due. Now, throughout the week, you're going to have 2 discussion forums, and those due dates as far as the initial post will change slightly, especially with this first week and then moving on to the second week, those will change. But any of the quizzes or response papers or research papers, those will all be due at the end of the day on Sunday of that week. Okay, so word to the wise, if you're going to have a computer problem, it's going to be at 11 o'clock on Sunday night. So my advice to you is to not wait till that last minute. So then you don't feel the stress, and then, then you're trying to figure out what to do. So I don't want you to do that. So just, try and get those done as early as possible. If you're stressing out at 11:45 and something's not working, it's going to be very hard for me to assist you. But that also brings me to the next thing I wanted to point out is that you do have the help desk that is available for Moodle support, and you can click on your page and be able to take you that. But you guys are going to be good and be prepared and turn things in on time so we don't have that added stress. All right, so let's just take a quick look at week 1. So each week you're going to see the objectives. Of course, you're going to start out the week. I've already sent out one of those announcements, and that will help get you prepared for the week. Then we have the required reading. There's almost always something that is non-literature based that's going to be talking about either literary criticism, different information or background about the authors that we're reading. And there are some other resources here too. Like this one here is a TED talk about how fiction can change reality. And that can actually be one of the things that you write about in the forums. Okay, so for week 1, we have these 3 selections: A Story of an Hour, Young Goodman Brown, and The Education of Women on the Dangers of Reading Fiction. Okay, so this is all required. You want to read all of these things. You can pull these up. These are PDFs. And actually, at the beginning of the course, you can pull up all of them. Okay, so here are some extra resources that are helpful in learning how to read fiction and analyze fiction, and then also how to write about it. So all of these sources are helpful to you. Okay, so I recommend that you just treat these as if they are required and go ahead and read those as well. So for this week 1, we have 3 different things. Each week we have 2 discussions. The first one is typically due on Wednesday of that week, but for week 1, we're starting a little bit later, starting on Tuesday. So you have till Friday for the initial post. And you want to make sure that you're getting all of your points. I'm amazed every week that students miss points because they didn't post by the due date. So don't do that. Get all your points. So for this week 1, you're going to respond by Friday, and then you want to get all of your responses in by the time the forum closes on the 11th, which is Sunday. And then you have the critical thinking exercise. For this week, both of those initial responses are due on Friday. For week 2, that will change, and they will be due on, the first discussion board will be due on Wednesday. But always look at your calendar. You have a calendar over here, and it has all of that information on there. And I'll send out reminders as well, too, especially because week 2 will be a little bit different. But then that'll be our pattern for the rest of the time. And then to close out week 1, you have a quiz. So make sure that when you're reading these, you're taking notes and, trying to think critically, see if you can start to predict what types of questions you might be asked on the quizzes. Okay, so here's a good overview. I'm so happy to be with you in this class for this term. It goes by very quick, 8 weeks. We'll just shoot by, but we have a lot of opportunity to learn and discuss about fiction. So I'm looking forward to sharing all of that with you. So welcome again to English 102. Have a great week, and I'll see you in class.